How can the same masculine energy that can hurt and dehumanize me as a woman be the same energy that will protect me as a woman? So this was a question that was posed in my relationship of your dreams group. If you are watching this and you're not currently a member, you need to go to relationshipofyourdreams.com and click the link in the menu and join our group. Um, if you already are in the group, then fantastic. I could spend hours answering this one question because there is so many parts to it. But I want to just focus on one for today, for this video. How can the same masculine energy that can hurt and dehumanize me as a woman be the same energy that will protect me as a woman? So I'm going to use myself as a personal example to answer this question. I have a lot of experience with women. Almost none up until I was 23, and then a lot of dating experience, meeting women, relationships, all that kind of stuff. Way more than most men, and it's somewhat embarrassing for me to even have gone through all of those experiences for a decade, and then be married to my woman, to my wife, and still be so ignorant on like a woman's experience in the world, what she actually experiences. And for so many men, they're operating in the same kind of way, right? And so I'm going to be talking about ignorance because this is part of the answer. It's not the full answer to this question, but it is part of it. You know, I didn't really understand on any kind of deep level what it is like to be a woman in the world, right? And then that was after dating hundreds of them and being quite good at attracting them and understanding them women on some level. And I mean most men are going to be much more clueless than that, right? And so I'm also talking about being married to my wife for several years, and also my wife talking about her feelings in so many different ways and telling me about all the ways that I've hurt her, and that always with blame, though, always with um, crying but blaming at the same kind of time, at the same time. And so there is very little in that respect that really got through to me. And one of the really massive shifts that we had was that first time when she was truly vulnerable with me, and she really just poured her heart out. No blame, nothing except exposing her heart. And for the first time, I could really feel it. Right? I could really feel what she was feeling. And most men go through life, or through a lot of their life, without really feeling what a woman or what women or what their woman is experiencing, because they're not truly showing it to them, right? Like in a way where a man can also feel. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm not talking about teaching a man how a woman feels. I'm not talking about any of that, because a man's not going to be able to receive that in a way where he's, first of all, if a woman's doing that, right, like teaching him, he's not going to be very receptive to begin with. But the other problem with it is that it's just like it's a label, it's a concept. He's not really truly understanding it. And what really shifted for me that day when I really felt my wife's pain is, there is no going back at that point. Right? There's no going back, because I could feel her pain on the same level that she was feeling it. And it it activated me in a way that on a way of operating that I hadn't been operating on before, where all of a sudden I really felt like just wanting to protect her and provide for her and meeting her needs, and not having her experience that kind of pain anymore. Now, obviously, that's not going to work on all men, because some men are sociopaths and very deeply damaged. But I'm talking about the vast majority of men here. And this understanding of women has only been deepened so much more, actually, interestingly and awesomely, by becoming a coach. I've had hundreds of women that have cried in front of me, like, and that I've just held space for. Clients, women in my course and group, and that has given me a perspective that most men really don't get, because I can feel it on such an emotional level. And I just want for women to really understand how that experience as a man really shifts that, his experience. Because for me, not only am I feeling that, right, like I'm feeling that pain, and like having that compassion for women, but and just really understanding so much more what they have experienced, what women experience, um, and all the like difficulties and problems that women have to experience in their life with men, and how difficult it can be. But then on the other part of this is that I also feel very respected as a man, right? Because women are opening up to me. And most men are not getting either of those experiences, right? They're not having the experience of truly understanding a woman emotionally, like really feeling a woman, and and what she's going through. And then second of all, most men are not feeling respected at all, by women, or just by society in any kind of way. And what this is going to do is, if you really think about it, if you're a woman that's watching this, how does it feel when your needs are not being met, right, by a man, by men? When you don't feel cherished, when you don't feel protected, when you don't feel, really cared for and valued, and provided for, when you feel like you have to step up and do everything yourself, right? Because nobody's there to take care of you, nobody's there to protect you. um, this is the experience for so many women, and like on a spectrum, of course. Like for some, that's just their entire experience, and for others, that's definitely part of their experience. And men are experiencing the same kind of thing, right? Where but in a different way, where their needs are not being met because they are not feeling respected, they're not feeling valued, they are not really feeling that they have something to like rise up for and protect and provide for. Because the only way to really feel that as a man is if a woman is sharing herself in that way, where a man can truly really feel it, first of all. And that's that catch 22, right? Because if you're so scared as a woman to open up and actually bare your heart, man's not going to feel it, and then most men won't really get it. Most men won't really care. So a woman's got to create her own sense of safety, right, for herself, and be willing to open up, and willing to share her emotional experiences, and be willing to expose her heart in that kind of way, and then flow away from anyone who's just not really, any man that's not really interested in taking care of it. And in the Radiant Woman Academy, what we really do is help you open up to that level, right? And be that open, be that fully exposed, create that sense of space for yourself. Um, because as you make that shift, what's going to happen is, it's a beautiful thing. You make these external shifts, and a lot of these traumas that you're talking about, that are posed in this question, will naturally come up. They'll come up to the surface, and it will be a beautiful opportunity to face them and heal them, right? And just accept that pain that you've been carrying all your life, that pain and that fear of men and of the masculine. But until you're willing to truly move into that, and to truly face it, and to truly yourself up in that way and let down the guards, you know, you're not going to be doing that deep healing work where you're going to see that beautiful side of men, right? That side of men where men just want to rise up, and because they feel respected and because they can feel, you know, your vulnerability and feel the part of you that they really want to protect and cherish, and provide for. If they can't feel it, then you're not going to see that side of men. And this is a side of men that can flip incredibly quickly, right? Like when in the presence of that kind of woman, you know, you can see an automatic shift in men. And of course, men will have their own work to do as well, right? Becoming more masculine, more dominant, more devotional. But the flip is just as dramatic as, you know, comparing a man who's really emasculated and weak with a woman and how that woman responds versus a man who's really devotional and dominant and grounded with that woman, right? You're going to see a completely different side to that woman. It's the same woman, right? She hasn't changed, but you're seeing a completely different side to her. My sound's messed up. That's not good. I'm not sure why that would be. Well, maybe nobody can hear this video. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure what's going on. But if anyone can hear me, and you want to work on yourself in that way as a woman and really open up, go to Relationship Your Dreams, book a call with me. You got to be really serious about making these changes and being courageous and opening up to create that safety for yourself. And I'm going to go figure out what's going on with my sound now.